keys?
Yeah. Hey, hit him with that one Tez, that young Tez one up for me. Young T-E-Z.
T-Easy.
Yes, sir. Showing love to my mans out there. You know what I'm saying? Bill Wood, 708. Yo, what's up? What's up?
Hey, do the camera over here.
I told you. We ready?
Oops. I don't know. Why do I do that? Every time I think about YouTube, I put Yahoo.
That's how old you are. You still have a Yahoo. You know, what you say? You still have a Yahoo account or one of them?
What? Hotmail?
You still got a Hotmail.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
One Up.
One Up. Is that the name of the person or the song?
It's Young Tez, One Up. I said that.
One Tez.
Young Tez.
Young Tez. I don't know.
God, you are the slowest one at this.
Dude, I don't.
Your preparation just for being fast on this is not good.
Man.
I'm glad I ain't hit play. What, you having problems? What's the problem?
This computer is slow.
Oh.
Oh, there it is. Alright, Young Tez.
Y'all gotta excuse me. I ain't started yet. I'm just live on my feed.
Young Tez.
One Up.
The number one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Intro. Alright, so that. No, the other one.
This one?
After the 4. That one. Yeah. Is it that one? Or the other one?
You need to label these.
Too nice, had to downsize. Yeah, tell them welcome to the bad side. Get your shit, girl, trying to get me backside. On my ex to the left, gave me bad vibes. Had me in a dark place, took a bad ride. Now I'm way up and it ain't no feelings. I'm ducking you pictures, but look, it's so Irish, I'm winning. Look, I take you to the beginning when I built up teams, but they didn't want to play their position. Now they make themselves oppositions. They worry, they no competition. Now money's the mission. It's ice on my neck, still ain't slipping. I ball like I'm Zion, his pockets so blue face. I bet that they thought I was crippin'. They love me, my presents like Christmas. They got me on flow, it's Christmas. And no more, this money is different. It's the way how they do this, we different. She born, but look how I'm tripping.
Studio's in a session, I'm sorry.
My accent so sharp, she pimpin'. Now you on the side, I just wishing. The 60K, I mean the hit is different. This video me and Jabanji, I'm sending. These rappers born, I just don't even listen. They clout chasing just to get some attention. My homies triple pulling, drilling like killers. So we don't care about your face and the image. That 40 blow and hit your face, ain't no missing.
Yeah. Yo. 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 What it do, everybody? We back here again, Go City Sell Out Sports. I, of course, am your host, Dre, a.k.a. Andre Whitten. You know me as the Cognac Slim with the brown skin, you know what I'm saying? We back in here. I got a question. Did y'all miss me? Did y'all miss me? Was it kind of boring? I bet it was. But that's all right. I'm back in the game. Anyway, let me go ahead and kick this off with saying I'm so glad Portland then came around and beat the Memphis Grizzlies, even though, you know, I got mad respect for Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant. This dude here is amazing. The West is going to be a problem for a long time. We got great players in this game. I'm happy basketball is back. I didn't forget about the message. That's one thing we can't do is forget about the message. I'm happy that basketball is back. But the message, we don't want to lose that. If you smell me. Floyd, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. I was just talking about, you know, happy that the NBA season is back, for one. Didn't forget the message, though. It's all over the floor. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
But the NBA season is back. Tim, what's going on?
What's happening?
I was just talking about the NBA season.
What about it?
I know what? I'm enjoying the bubble. And with all due respect, sir.
Here we go. Here we go. Yes, we've been waiting on that. I've been waiting on that, especially since I heard.
Wait.
Hold on. The Phoenix Suns are undefeated since they were in the bubble. Now, the dog fight that Phoenix has given, and you know what? I'm gonna eat mine.
Okay.
Because I bash them all the time.
I bash.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
It's Phoenix. It's the Suns.
Hold on now. Don't act like the Suns have been terrible forever. We do have the Steve Nash era, and you know where it was some years strong. It was some years strong. Now you talk, and you know what's so crazy is I'm a season ticket holder with the Suns and have been for 6 or 7 years, but my loyalty is still with the Bulls.
Yeah, but you know what? I've grown a found respect for the Phoenix Suns just these 8 games in the bubble. Because I tell you what, Devin Booker is growing into himself. I'm talking, and you saw that before your eyes, tough in the bubble. Without KO, and Aiden played probably some of the best basketball that I've ever seen him play. He's had good games.
Yeah.
But you never see him play with that sense of urgency like you saw him play in the bubble, as far as I got a shot to go to the playoffs. So actually them not getting in, even though they were great, I mean, it probably was a great experience for him, and Phoenix has a lot to build up. My only thing you know what? I'm not bashing the Phoenix Suns. I think they're going to be a great team if they can continue to play like this. It's just that the West is so rich in talent right now. And let me tell you this. I believe possibly, and I think strong possibly, I don't think the Lakers and Clippers might not win the championship. The Lakers and Clippers might not win the championship. That's how strong and how rich the West is. Michael Porter Jr.
Talking about he has to be the most improved and the comeback player.
You know what? He can't get Rookie of the Year because Ja clearly deserves that, especially after the game I just watched right now. And I'm going to get to the Portland and Grizzlies game, especially after that game that I just saw. Shouts out to C.J. McCollum. C.J. McCollum's a dog. Broken whatever bone in his back, and he's still out there performing. But Luka Doncic, the Dallas Mavericks, the Denver Nuggets, with that young core that they got coming, the Lakers going to be around for a minute.
I don't know. You got AD. This is a contract year for him.
Understand? Okay. Well, okay.
And there's been talks that there's some grumblings among the team right now, and they are ranking last or second to last
In defense.
in three not only defense in like three statistically. And three statistical.
I think they're ranked like
categories.
26 in threes, somewhere around there. 26
Defense.
They're low, in the low 20s.
Yeah.
So my point is, the West is still going to be a powerhouse just with the young talent that they have in there. And I'm saying, what I'm saying is, because Portland's not going away anytime soon. Golden State's coming back next year. You understand what I mean? So Phoenix has a long way to go as far as proving himself up the ladder. And in the bubble, they did that, and they beat top teams.
Yeah.
In the bubble.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a reset now. You know what I mean? We're coming back. If they can continue, my respect for I got mad respect for Devin Booker. We don't even need to talk about him.
Yeah.
He's automatic.
Yeah.
You know, you got guys talking about he need to go, you know, just to win a championship. But I think the road is not, even though there's hope there, the road is going to be so tough because Luka's going to be around for a long time. He's just 21. You get what I'm saying? Ja is just 21. Zion is. I mean, if he can keep that, they can keep him healthy. The Pelicans, they got him for at least about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
you know. So
it's a. I think it's a lot of great young players in the league. But the thing is that I don't think really any of them, even the names you mentioned, have good pieces around them. Like you can't really name
Denver. I think Denver has great pieces. They got a young core.
Yeah,
I think Denver.
Yeah, Michael Porter, yes.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
He has taken Denver to a whole nother level. If I had to rank the West, and not in no particular order, I think Denver is probably top 3 in the West.
Yeah, they hold the third spot.
Easily top 3 in the West.
My thing is, on top of that, God forbid they get one more piece in Utah. God forbid they get. Yeah. You get where I'm coming from? One more piece. Let Dallas get
would be number 4 if we're talking 1 through 5.
Let Dallas get one more piece. You can't.
I don't know because And you know what? It could be Porzingis is that kind of player to where he doesn't mind taking a back seat to Luka. Mm-hmm. Because this is the thing, is people was like, oh, Phoenix passed on Luka Doncic. How could they do that? That wouldn't have never worked.
It wouldn't work. No.
That wouldn't have never worked
because
with Luka Doncic.
There's too many primary ball handlers on the
Devin Booker.
No.
That in the front court together. That wouldn't have never worked.
No.
That wouldn't have never worked.
It wouldn't have worked.
So they had to go. To me, it would have. It came down to Aiden and Bagley. I mean, those that to me that was the choices.
And you know what? And what's sad about it is we might be finding out Marvin Bagley's a bust. I mean, his production really hasn't been there. De'Aaron Fox, I know the Lakers are eating themselves right now for passing him up. He is an animal.
I don't care. I don't care what you
is an animal.
I don't care what you got on your team. You do not pass on Fox at all.
You know what?
Like at all. A player that could easily go out and get you 20 and 10.
LeVar is a monster. LeVar is a monster. Like, hey, he got his boys in there. They got the money. He moving around. Hey, I'm not mad at that man at how he did. He sold a dream on the Lakers and got his boy into the NBA. You know what? I want to address something. I'm gonna move over to the East with this one, and this is a big deal and something I've really thought about. You know what? What's crazy is I'm not the only one that said. Max Kellerman says this. He has his own way of saying it. Mm-hmm. Okay, the Nets, which gave Portland a great fight. That was LeVert, man.
That was at the end of the game. That was a bad decision on LeVert. I don't care how open
he was already getting in the lane,
killing them, and
he would have got fouled. He'd have got fouled.
Either got fouled or he would have scored. And you down by one.
They down by one.
Yeah. You ended up getting.
But you know what? They're going into the playoffs. He's going to learn from that. I know what I'm great. 37 points. No KD, no
And
Kyrie.
he made it look real easy.
He made it look, bro.
Even Dame said in his interview, he said, "Man, we had no answer. He was getting to the bucket doing things." And Dame said that he said when I realized that
Levert,
guarding Levert,
CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum. He said when he knew CJ had made him take the shot, take a jumper, he was like, "Yeah, I felt like we had a chance." And that just lets you know that Dame was praying that he wasn't trying to go.
He was not. He was in there for 5 feet. He was under the basket. He was going through. He was at the line at least about 8 times. I mean, but then at the end of the game, you chose to take this 18-footer. He know what? He's gonna remember that. I mean, it wasn't like it was something that bounced him out because they still. Still in the mix. That's a learning thing. That's a learning curve. He's definitely gonna learn from.
You know what though?
Hold on. Go ahead.
No, finish your statement.
But okay. Kevin and Kyrie come back. Okay.
It's not gonna be a good fit with this team.
Okay. Wait a minute.
I knew where you was going.
Go ahead. Let me get back to this. We watched Kyrie's career. Okay, what he done? He got one with LeBron. Okay, we know this. What he couldn't do in Cleveland, then he go to the Celtics, and we like, oh, that's gonna rock. They play better without him. They played better without him before. They play better without him. Okay, Brooklyn. What was Brooklyn's record before he went down? It wasn't good.
No.
And we're talking just Kyrie. Kevin ain't even stuck on the floor. Which I think they're going to get significantly better if he step on the floor.
But them two together?
It's Kyrie Irving. It's something about... Because he's not a... He's a park baller.
Stopper. He's a ball stopper.
He's a park baller. That's what I'm going to call him. You're right. He's a ball, but I'm gonna let you come in. But he's a park baller. You know what I'm saying? He gives you a show. He's a dancer. He's a ruckus park. He's a street baller, and he don't play that Chris Paul. You know what I mean? Even Russell, and they kind of the same way. They don't play the traditional point guard role. They're point guards that play like. He plays more like Allen. You know what I mean? The ISO. And Russell is somewhat the same way, but it's just something about both of them. Really, it's something about them too. Even we can name all they had.
Yeah.
Especially Russell. Now Russell's the worst out of this of who he's played with, and he's continually to play with. Bro. So my thing, and I want to piggyback off this, going to Portland. If I can do this all over again, if I was Kevin Durant, I would have went to Portland with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Instantly, I see that team contending for a championship.
I could see like 2 or 3 teams that would have been a better fit than Brooklyn, but
for Kevin, yeah.
But the way it's a couple different variables that you have to consider.
I ain't even gotten a Dame yet.
One is they both already won championships.
That's true.
So after you win a championship, I think with this new age hooper, it's more about I've got a chip now that basically solidified my career. Mm-hmm. Because we know after the lights go down, your career is based on championships. I don't care how many all whatever teams you've been on. If you don't have that chip, that doesn't really solidify your career. So with this new age of basketball players, it gets to a point to where you reach that level of having won a championship. Now, where can I go to win and market myself? And now it's more about the business aspect of this than more so winning a championship. But at the same time, give myself a chance to win the championship. But there's like 2 or 3 teams that he could have went to that would have been an instant championship qualifier team. And it's just what's bad is that they are going to the chemistry is not going to be like it is this year.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the thing why I say he should have went to Portland. I get what Kevin's doing. I get it. But to play with somebody who's not selfish, a team that spreads the ball. Portland moves the ball.
Yeah.
They're small. That's because so they have to move the ball in small ball. But Kevin just been gone out this season. We ain't gonna forget who was the most unstoppable player in the NBA before he went down. That was Kevin Durant. Kevin, you ain't stopping Kevin from getting his shot. He was the best shooter on the. If Kevin Durant and everybody else was on the floor, it didn't matter who it was. Kevin Durant was the best shooter on the floor.
To me, when you talk about the best player in the league right now, I have to give it to KD. One, because he plays both ends, and he is just a dog.
Yeah.
Like if you want to compare anybody to Kobe and Mike, I think Durant is the better comparison than a LeBron. I would compare LeBron more up to a Magic Johnson.
Actually, it's contagious. You're right. But you can say the same thing for Michael Jordan and see it in other players. Like you did at Kobe, like you did Allen Iverson. It's contagious. It's a lot of Kobe mentality out there. Like I said, Devin Booker, one of them. Damian Lillard's one of them. And now let's just go to Damian Lillard. Okay, so they was giving out these, they giving out these season awards for the bubble, right? And they were like, okay, who's the MVP? Who's the MVP? Before that, before these last games, I want to say 4 games, Devin Booker was my MVP. But Dame just got historic.
But I think I think you still may have to give it to Devin Booker.
I can't.
Why?
But see, when you talk about MVP, though, you can't just look at
the bubble. We're talking about the bubble. We're just talking about the bubble.
Look at what he's done. But look, when you talk about Portland, though, look at they got 2 big men that came back with a vengeance. They got a 7-footer that's practically unstoppable. Okay, Nurkic?
No,
The I forgot his name. Then they got the other dang near 7-footer that is playing power forward. The white guy.
Talking about white?
They've been unstoppable.
Wait a minute. For
then you got C.J. McCollum that's just.
For one thing, Hassan Whiteside ain't been playing.
That's why he ain't starting.
Good at all.
That's why he ain't starting. That's why the
Nurkic,
big man.
Nurkic is starting.
And he's killing.
And you know what? He can shoot. He can defend. But
he's so cerebral too. So I can't give somebody an MVP for a team that is expected to be there.
But what Dame did, 50.
No, 61.
Hold on, wait a minute.
51.
Wait a minute. 45 before that?
Yeah.
50. 61. 50.
And then 42 or
43.
Yeah.
And wait a minute.
Does that really surprise you about Dame?
Let me plead my case. What was there? They were almost not even in the bubble.
No,
correct.
They had a
correct.
They had a better record than the Suns, who held
the 8th spot the entire time? The Memphis Grizzlies. They held that 8th spot.
And I don't see how they did that.
John Morant.
I don't see.
But
you do got the other kid that's from Oregon. The light skinned kid from Oregon. What's his name? He may be second or first in scoring, but he just had 30 the other night. The shooter from Oregon got the Mohawk light mixed guy. Oh shoot, what is his name?
You know what?
But he's been lights.
The rookie.
And then
I know you're talking about
the big fella. He just happened to go out with a meniscus tear, but he's been
flaming from 3-point line.
Jerry Jackson Jr.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So they've had.
I like, but they got. That's why they was holding on to the 8th spot, mind you, in the West. And the entire time before the bubble, it was holding down. Now, come to the bubble. Damian he said it. He said, "Look, if I'm not finna play, if I'm not playing to get in, they set the schedule. Correct. They did. Hey, I said it. I said they set this thing up. Even the Phoenix Suns can get in. Guess what? They'd have lost today. Guess who would have got the 8th spot? And would have had to play Memphis.
No, if they would have lost yesterday.
No.
It's Portland.
No. Today. They had to play Portland. Portland and Memphis I just watched the game. Memphis had to beat Portland twice to get in.
So,
Portland only had to beat Memphis one time.
So you're saying between those two teams.
If Memphis would have beat Portland, it'd have been the Suns would have had to play Memphis for the play-in. That was good. That would have been the last game. One game. It'd have been y'all.
Yeah, Phoenix needed Memphis or Portland to lose for them to be in the 8th seed. Not the 8th seed, in the what do they call it, the playout game?
The playout game.
The play-in game.
The play-in game.
They were battling to get into that 8th play-in spot.
See, it was,
and that's crazy. All they needed was either one of them to lose.
It was a 4-team race. It was the Spurs, it was the Suns, it was Memphis, and Portland. Now, back to my point about Damian Lillard. They came in the bottom. They came in the bottom. Now the Suns
was way at the bottom, like they were.
But they were, look, the most magnificent performance that I've seen out of a team. Phoenix
that by
in the
far
bubble,
was the best
by
team
far in the bubble.
I've seen in
Phoenix
a long time.
is by far. So
that's what's so scary to me. Like, and that's why I say when you talk about MVPs, I think that's what's wrong with the league, is because we have a skewed idea of what the MVP
but
is.
But hold on, wait a minute.
We just
let me go back.
A lot of people are going by just stats. But when you talk about we talk about the most valuable player, if taking them off their team, what would they do? You could take
Damian Lillard.
You could take Dame off. Listen, you could take Dame off of that team and put CJ McCullough at the 1.
But that didn't happen.
But this is what I'm saying.
It wasn't CJ McCullough.
I'm just saying. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm saying you can take Dame off of that team and they still win. You can't take Booker off the Suns and they still win at all.
If you take Dame off the team, they probably go down to the 8th seed, 7th seed.
From where?
From where they at right now. They probably go down to the 10th seed without Damian Lillard.
I think
without Damian Lillard.
If we're talking about seeding, say if we have them at 7, Dame go down, and it's based strictly on personnel, they drop to an 8 seed.
They can't,
because you don't have that player that's a finisher at the game.
Before the end of the bubble, before the end of the pandemic, though, they came down. They were already a 10th, 9th seed.
You get
with
but
both
we're
of them.
What does Dame bring to the game other than scoring?
What he did by carrying the team and putting them on his back.
We're still talking about scoring, though. I'm talking about, set aside from scoring, what does Dame do for the team?
He makes his teamimates better. He does.
How does he make his teammates better?
He does. He makes his teammates better.
What you're saying is he opens the game up more, but he does for you to make player. Name one player on that team.
So wait a minute.
If Dame wasn't on that team, what or who on that team, if Dame was off, wouldn't be as good as they are now? Name one.
I say it'll. Okay, I ain't gonna say they wouldn't be as good. I say
no. We're talking really would not be as good.
I honestly, man. Probably a lot of them. Wait a minute. If you want to be honestly real,
it's a difference. Wait a minute. It's a difference than making somebody good.
Wait a minute.
Open the game.
So wait a minute. You mean to tell me when CJ got there, he was at the level he was next to Dame before? It was automatic.
But that's opening the game up. That's not the same as making somebody better.
Wait a minute. Their chemistry feeds off each other. They do it. Dame does make that team better.
I'll give you an example.
Wait a minute.
Since we can relate to this team more because we two Illinois boys. Pippen leading the Bulls without Jordan.
It happened.
Does he do the same thing that he does with Jordan without Jordan?
Yeah.
Like, is he the same player?
Yeah, he was the same player. They almost went to the championship if it wasn't for a bad call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can say, but this is the thing. Jordan made who can come off the bench with Dame Lillard and hit game-winning shots? When you talk about making a player better, that's really instilling confidence in them that you can do this.
Wait a minute.
I don't care if you have 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
I got a prime example for you. Melo.
Melo's been doing that his whole career.
But hold on. Melo was not having that. Okay, Melo had.
But
you mean to tell me? And plus, he was asking Melo, please come to Portland years ago.
Yeah.
Melo went through his little downtime. He wasn't performing. Melo he had hhis spotty games coming from Oklahoma. It semi-worked. It actually worked. He didn't have a bad season with Houston. It just, they pretty much gave up on him. He come back, slim down. And still Melo's not. You wouldn't consider Melo the strong third option, but the confidence that Dame instills in him, you can tell by even making the right plays. Those are the things, the little. So you mean to tell me?
I'm gonna show you the difference between.
Wait a minute.
Houston and Portland.
So the intangibles don't help a player get better. The small intangibles that you have to deliver to the floor don't make a player better.
No, it still goes back to a difference between.
Like, for example,
opening the game. Listen. This is like you having a shooter and you giving him the ball and say, create your own shot. He can't do that. He's a shooter.
Who?
Now, I'm just talking in general.
Okay.
But if I'm a point guard and I know how to get in the paint and draw the defense to me, and now I get you your shot, now I'm making you better. You feeding off of me. And this is another perfect example is Shawn Marion. Shawn Marion won a championship.
Yeah.
But the reason why he became an all-star was because of Steve Nash. He made him better.
Okay.
Because Steve put him in positions to be successful. Name what, and that's how he got all the dunks and all the runouts and all of that. Dame does not do that for that team.
Well,
what he does is he is a hell of a scorer and he is unselfish. But when you talk about Melo, between the Houston Melo and Portland Melo, is Harden and
does Harden make team?
No, he does not. No, he does not. Will he go down in history as one of the best scorers in the league? Yes. Will Dame go down as one of probably the top 10 killers in the league? Yes, he does. But when two different things.
You know why I break bridges on that? Assists between Harden and Dame.
Harden has a lot of assists.
He does.
But you gotta look at that's like somebody scoring 40 points but taking 80 shots. You can't look at the points. You got to look at the attempts. And that's what I'm talking about with his assists.
Did you understand where I'm coming from? No. If you look at the quality of assists that Dame Dash throws, I mean, James can create. He can do the same thing. If James is stuck in a pocket, he will dish out. Okay,
it's got to be James. It's got to be like the last resort.
It's just
like
you understand?
I ain't got nowhere else to go, so I'm gonna give you the ball.
I'm gonna give you the ball. That's how he doesn't create. I understand what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but to be able, Chris Paul, I think a point guard is underrated as far as being a person that can make a team better. Because Chris Paul
makes everybody better around him.
The prime example is Oklahoma.
Yeah.
No,
without no big names.
Hold on. Chris Paul. Schroeder.
Those are players. When you talk about making somebody better, those are players. Now what Dame does for Melo,
he has better.
Melo, he allows Melo to not have to do as much as he did on Houston. But that does not make you better.
Okay,
he extended his career and allowed him to settle into a role that is fitting for what his body is.
Core personality matters. I don't think he's had those players that actually look at him. You know, you get what
exactly.
I don't.
There's a respect level between him and Dame. Like Dame looks at him like, yeah, you are that guy, regardless of where you at now. Like you're that guy. Like everybody, but the Melo that is going on now.
I ain't talking about. Okay, we gonna leave Melo out of this. I'm talking about the players that's with him and under him. There's a level of self-discipline of you having to pay attention to what this man is doing. You get what I'm talking. That's how Chris Paul is. People watch Chris Paul. He's like that. He's a leader of men. He's he's president of the National Basketball Association. Players Association. Yeah. So he's been in that. I'm really awkward against Kyrie being the assistant president.
No, I think the only reason why I don't like that fit because Kyrie is a very emotional guy. He does things on emotion. When you're not, that's fine if you're leading your own thing. But when other people are dependent on the decisions that you make, and you're an emotional person, that doesn't bode well for everybody else, because you'll say some shit that'll just mess everybody else up.
I want this dude to prove to me that the earth is flat. I'm not finna go there. But anyway.
But the other thing, what it is about Dame, and don't get me wrong, man, I had a chance to meet the guy when I lived in Portland.
He's 6 foot 8.
Great guy.
He's 6 foot 8.
Great guy. Bro, he is legitimate 6 foot.
He's 6 foot. He is 6 foot. He's a little bit taller than me.
But this is the thing is, what he is the most unselfish scorer in the league.
That's one of the things I'm talking about.
He is the most unselfish.
Dame, if you can't learn from that,
probably
brother.
Anywhere between 10 and 15 of his points that he scores is, he said in an interview, he said, I have to do that not to win the game, but to open the game up for everybody else. But listen, that's instilling confidence. That's not.
But that's part of leadership. Yeah, you need that.
It is, but
you can't lie to me and tell me
but we're still. This falls under the umbrella of MVP, and that doesn't equate to MVP.
You know what? He hasn't got. But if you was to name the top 10 players in the NBA, Dame was like 8.
No,
Whoa!
What's so crazy?
Who?
Listen. Let me finish. I actually would put him higher than that.
My man, really? That's how much. That's how much. I'm so glad you say that.
Bro, by far.
Remember we had this conversation about the pound for pound player, pound for pound. When we was talking about the greatest pound for pound stature, height, and weight. The greatest pound for pound player in the NBA ever was Allen Iverson. To take that punishment.
But bro, you're talking about somebody that was only 5'10" and maybe like $170.
He was probably, Allen was probably 5'10". No, Allen was about 5'11". 5'11" and a half.
He was a little bit under 6 feet.
He was that taller than me.
Bro, the dude was smaller than. I'm not saying that you're small.
No, he's 100. He was 175 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't think Allen Iverson ever got over 180 pounds.
And to do the stuff, to lead the league in scoring, to win MVP,
pound for pound.
Bro, there's not gonna be. There's
pound for
Allen
pound.
Iverson is in a whole nother stratosphere.
Pound for pound.
You can't compare anybody to him.
But
how many comparisons have you heard of Allen Iverson?
I'm not gonna go as far as. But how he played, okay, Allen, we ain't gonna go crossover. Mm-hmm. We are talking height and stature. You know what? I saw him and C.J. McCullough stand next to each other. I ain't know C.J. McCullough was a foot taller than him. Like, yeah, C.J. McCullough just like that 6'4". Much. Like, no, C.J.'s like 6'1".
Is he?
Yes. They got you stood next to Dame. They got Dame listed as 6'2".
Oh no. That's why they listing
CJ at 6'3". CJ is like 6'1", brother. I'm talking this backcourt of these two dudes. Maybe I'm looking at it a different way because I'm an undersized. I'm the average size. They're the average sized man in this game, you know, and it's infectious. It feels like the same way when I watch Allen play. It's infectious. When I watched Isaiah Thomas for the Celtics a couple years ago play, you know, it's infectious to see a team undersized playing small ball. Much respect to Houston Rockets too, because they're not the biggest backcourt, you know, Russell and Harden, but
they count by threes,
right? But
everybody on their team can shoot threes.
But did you watch? You didn't watch the Portland game?
No.
CJ, you missed.
Bro, you know he has a broken back. He got
bro, you, my brother, motherfucker. Let me tell you this. You just missed a good one.
Man.
I'm in there. I'm yelling, bro. And then Dame still got 30-something points. You know, quietly. You know, he had an off game. That's the great thing about him too. CJ wasn't performing. He couldn't perform to a full. Dame time. You understand?
I'm gonna tell you the biggest key for them is Gary Trent Jr. Bro,
my man,
that
I ain't even got to him.
That dude came out of nowhere
and he dropping
and just
he started dropping
with a level of confidence that you only see.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that's what I'm talking about with Dame. Like he gives you. Dame is going to be Dame.
And again, the great thing about it, like you said, he's one of the most unselfish ball players. He's having an off game. CJ, your turn. CJ taking him up all ISO. Man, CJ. And you know what? People don't realize how strong CJ McCullough is.
You can't match
CJ
guard
McCullough
to his size.
He tough.
Or even a thinner guard. CJ is he
tough.
Strength.
Yeah, he ain't weak. You can watch him ball. He ain't weak. CJ McCullough ain't weak.
He's not super athletic.
No, he ain't.
Man, he just knows how to play.
And you know what?
His brother led overseas, averaging I think he said had like a 60 or 70 point game. He was on that team that in the TBT that won the championship all those years in a row.
Okay, now we got to go back home. I got to ask you a question.
What's that?
How you feel about Jim Boylan being gone?
Yeah, I think we needed that.
I've been doing this for a minute now, and I kind of look up to certain people, Stephen A. I watch all these shows. I watch Sway in the Morning. I try to absorb what.
Yeah. You sharpening your craft.
Yeah,
sharpening your craft.
Stephen A. is I have mixed feelings about some of the things he said.
Hey, and that's a nice way to put it. I have mixed feelings.
You know what? I'm having mixed feelings about this, but he's correct. He went on a rant because they asked Fizz about maybe joining looking for a job maybe because the Bulls job is open, and Fizz was like, honestly, I'm not really, he about to have a baby girl or boy, and he's like, I'm not really thinking about it, blah, 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 and this and this and this. So Stephen A. comes in. He's an asshole. You better not take that job. Hell no. For one thing, it's cold. Jerry then basically didn't give Chicago a good look on that Last Dance show. Jerry did not give a. He did not. The owner just did not give a good impression. Because going back to that AD, he hinted about coming home. But at the same time,
it's tough. It's tough to play at home.
You ain't gonna get nobody giving him the Pippen treatment in this era. That ain't happening. I really think. You know what? You can keep the socks. Sell the Bulls to somebody. Sell the Bulls to somebody who actually cares about the team and not just line the pockets. Because no matter, and you know how Stephen A. Smith rants about how the 76ers and the process and even the Knicks and how bad they are and fans shouldn't even give them their money. Jerry's got so comfortable because tell me when a Bulls game ain't sold out, no matter what the record is.
Yeah.
Tell me when Bulls merchandise is not bought, no matter what the record is. That stadium is sold out. The Bulls Stadium is sold out.
There's a history there that they literally have to do bad for the probably 5 to 10 years in a row. And I mean, like, stink up the place for anybody to stop going.
The Bulls organization and Jerry should have broke bread with Michael Jordan because he built the house.
It's too much pride with them, man.
That's why Michael Jordan built that house.
Mike said it best.
He saved a dying franchise.
Yeah, he said it best. When he did the interview for The Last Dance, when they were talking about splitting it up when they were on that last run, and he said, how could you even talk about that when we just won the championship? And I think like him, you gotta not only not win the championship, you have to not win the championship and then be a horrible team. I understand that as an owner, you know
there's time to break it up. There's time to
think, 2 steps. But you still got players that are in their prime that still got at least 3 or 4 years, championship years left. And what you do is you don't break it up. You just bring young pieces in there to give them a spell and give them a break or whatever.
And back to your point, and that's when you use your veterans to make the younger players better.
Man, it's players in the NBA that have been in the league strictly because the team decided it would be better to have you on the team, not as a integral piece on the court, but an integral piece on the bench and in the locker room.
Vince Carter.
Yeah. His skills and ability went away probably 3 years ago.
I mean, even the guys at the end of their career, Karl Malone, Kevin Garnett, Gary Payton.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? They
have no coaching aspirations, so you're not gonna get them to come back to coach. But you might as well use these last 2 or 3 years to bring in younger players and have them mentor them. That's a great plan.
I want to see your reaction to this. You know how happy when I saw Jay Crawford go to Brooklyn?
Oh yeah, bro.
Jamal Crawford. Wait a minute.
That's my.
Jamal Crawford came ball.
So happy for him.
It hurt me that he got hurt though. You know what I'm saying? At the end of at the end, but towards the middle of the game. Jamal Crawford can't ball.
That man at 40 plus can still.
Jamal. I ain't seen Jamal stop balling. Jamal,
his game don't look no.
I don't understand why Jamal Crawford ain't been starting for a team for the remainder of his, at least the last 7 years of his career.
One thing about Jamal though is he's like what's his name for the Clippers to come off the one man of the year.
I think. Wait a minute. I agree, but
hold on. But I'm gonna make a point on top of that.
Jamal's nasty.
What's his name?
Lou
Williams. There's certain players that thrive in certain moments, and I think the Jamal Crawfords and the Lou Williams, they are built for spots in the game, and I don't think I think you need to. They're like daggers. So when you're stepping on somebody's throat, or you need to go on that run, or you need somebody to just stick that dagger and step on their throat, you bring them in the game. I don't think they would have had the career they had if they had to be starters.
That's something I agree, but I agree down the middle.
I'm not saying they wouldn't have been effective.
We don't know. And I'm agreeing that we don't know.
Yeah.
You know how many 60-point games this man has? 50? I mean,
and to be a non-starter,
and he potent. I mean, Jamal is
he's just instant buckets.
I'm watching him cross,
and people don't.
It don't look like he lost a beat on the cross,
bro.
It's still crisp.
So cerebral. Like he thinks the game 2 or 3 steps. That's why all the players
so
that are
crisp.
cerebral players, they're able to extend their career by years because they know they don't have to rely on their athletic ability.
Mm-hmm.
You ever played against them old men and you like, man, how does this dude out here get buckets?
And they balling out the gym.
He barely getting off the ground.
Yeah.
But he got that one post-up move or that one little shimmy that just creates enough space to where he can do it. Jamal Crawford don't look no different now than he did.
Ever. I'm looking at it.
He may not be as fast, but he ain't never been a fast player. He just been somebody that could give you that.
He quick. He ain't fast.
He ain't fast. He quick. He can give you that dunk.
I'm looking at it when he came off the bench. And everybody, even the wasn't no crowds, but the basketball players, they was all clap. And I'm watching. You know how Jamal got that. I don't see nothing different. It's like, bro, he looked like Jamal Crawford from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He looked like the exact same Jamal Crawford. And kudos to him for being on a roster. Again, this time getting short, but you talking about working on a game. Brandon Ingram.
New Orleans was the best thing to happen to his career.
You know what? He if he keeps doing what he's doing, if he improves,
I just need him to put on like 20, 25.
Hold on. I was finna go there. At least get to Kevin's size.
Yeah.
Get at least,
bro. He's probably 7 foot,
and he's pulling out a couple games. I saw him pull out his best Kevin Durant impressions, like because I think you told me this about Brandon Ingram. You was like, I think you were a while back when we started. You was telling me about Brandon Ingram.
Yeah,
you know what? I agree because when I watch him, he's kind of Durant-ish.
Yeah,
he has. And I seen him drop him. I seen him drop a few dudes from 30. I seen him pull up. I seen him. I seen him in your face, and he didn't drop it.
I think that's the one thing that he has that Kevin Durant doesn't have. Kevin Durant does not have that boom, boom, boom. I can get to the bucket.
Kevin Durant has that rock. He had that.
I can create space, and I'm 7
Wait a minute.
foot.
No, Ingram, I want to say he has a faux rock. Bye. Kevin is bye. It's wider, it's smoother. You know what I'm saying? But he's so quick. Because he can't double. He can't double tap you. You seen him do it.
Yeah. He has the ability. But he's not somebody that's gonna leave you standing there though.
His pull up is so smooth.
But he don't have to. He's 7 foot.
Right.
And he shoot at the top of it.
Right. His pull up is so smooth right at the top. And so
he gives LeBron fits. LeBron don't even like guard.
And we gonna be real.
LeBron does not like the guard.
Hey, no disrespect to LeBron.
He don't. That's why
he don't like smoke.
I was in Cleveland for the playoffs when they was playing, and that's when Kevin Durant brought the ball up the court and walked straight to the 3-point line.
Oh yeah, and he dropped it,
dagger three, and LeBron standing back.
Right, and he went.
LeBron don't want that smoke.
He don't want it.
He don't want that smoke. That Kevin Durant, man. And people ask me all the time, well, who is your best players? How I judge who my best players are is the players that can transcend errors. Like if you take their game, not who they could be, but if you take their current game and how they play now and put them in the Jordan era where ejection foul today would be just a common foul back then. If you take them and put them in that era, and I'm going to tell you just to stay on point.
Who right now could play in that era? Who right now in this era?
I'm gonna start off with the one we've been talking about.
Go ahead,
Dame Lillard.
I could absolutely.
Dame Lillard can play in that era and thrive.
Giannis
could play in that era.
Absolutely, Giannis.
I don't know the one I go back. Luka. The one I go back and forth with is James Harden.
I know. The flop.
More of could not.
You ain't getting that space. You ain't
getting that. How many points does he get from going to the line for the flops and just the barely contact?
I'm gonna say
James Harden 10 to 15 points a game.
I think one time James Harden went to the line 20 times.
You're not getting that. You're not getting that in that era, in that old school era.
No, you're not.
You know who else I think can play?
Who?
Russ. Russ can play.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Russ can play.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler can play it.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard can play it. Hold on. Not the new Kawhi. not the Clipper. He doing a lot of crying.
Okay, the low management.
Yeah,
Kawhi,
not
this Kawhi.
Not that.
You know what?
Kawhi.
He in LA now. He ain't got
know
Hollywood.
who? You know who else?
Who?
Paul George could play in the.
I don't know.
There. You know why? Because he is a two-way. Paul George is a dog. And he is that two-way player.
Okay.
He probably one of the top 3 two-way players in the league right now. I can come back on a horrific injury like that.
We're saying this wrong. And I'm thinking of it wrong. You're right. These players can play in that era. They wouldn't want to be what they be in that era.
Yeah. I add that caveat.
No.
Adding that caveat to it, that is right. Like I was saying, if you took their game now, but right. I also mean like if you
they would make it.
Yeah,
they would make it, but they wouldn't be superstars at the level because you got to take away what they're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do back then. Now, I would say,
but one of the other factors you got to remember the spacing. Whereas now the court is wide open,
right?
But back then you could help out and ain't got to be a certain distance.
It wasn't too many switch offs.
You wasn't getting no isolation, and you got a player way over here and one over. Bro, you got even if you get by somebody, you got to be able to absorb some punishment when you get to the hole. I don't know.
I say Steph and a lot of the shooters could.
I think Steph because he could shoot.
John Paxtons, they'll be the John Paxtons and the Steve Kerrs and John Stocktons and the Gary Paytons of the world, and that's who they would be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They would. But when we talk about what you're doing now in the league, you being able to do that same thing back in that era, bro, it's very food. I don't even think LeBron. I don't even think LeBron.
I want to say the only one that probably would still be who he was is Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis is probably
he absolutely free. And now he hitting threes.
Don't let him go past 35%. Don't let him go past 35%.
Oh my goodness. What? Why did he hit? But like, why did you? And as an athlete, I get it because when you're sitting on the other side of it, you question. You say, hey, how could he do this? Why would he do this? If you've never been an athlete and understand in the heat of the moment when you let your emotions get, especially if you're already an emotional player. Mm-hmm. Like I can see you doing that. I can see me doing that because we're emotional people anyway. Mm-hmm. But to be in the heat of the moment,
you have to have some self-restraint,
bro.
He had to have some self-restraint.
And I just, for a competitor like him, like we could say, like,
you know what? What has Giannis actually? Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. But one thing we can give Giannis hasn't had these outbursts. It's just this one that got him. No. The bubble's tough.
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
And he takes a beating every game.
He does.
He takes a beating every game.
But you know what though? The playoffs start Monday, my dog. It's about to get going.
Front row.
Hey, I'm there in front of my 70-inch TV.
Oh yeah! Congrats on the new spot.
Appreciate that. But
yeah,
hey,
our little one has become independent. Look at it.
Y'all tripping? I've been independent. Shoot, what you mean? I'm running circles around brothers. They just don't know it. People just don't know it. But for real, hey, I'm glad you're back, brother.
Man, hey, we had to get the clan back together. The ill boys in the house. And if you don't know what the ill is,
Illinois.
It's Illinois. It ain't Illinois. It's Illinois.
Everybody
the S is silent.
Hey, everybody have
S is silent. That's how you can tell if somebody really can
Illinois. They don't say Illinois.
Ask them how to
say Illinois.
If they say Illinois, they're frauds.
Hey.
Fugazi.
Glad to have you back, man.
Glad to be back.
Glad everybody's coming back and look like things are starting to open up. But for one thing I want everybody to do is have a good weekend, stay safe, and continue to say it loud.
Say it loud.
And don't forget the message. Sports is back, but we ain't forget the message. Oh, my bad.
Okay, I see what you. I see. In the 90s, I could
see my other ones.
In the 90s. I got to show you my toy.
My other ones, they black, right? They all black. They fucking turquoise, orange, red.
Okay. I see you.
Dope.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah.
We gonna make sure we keep this train going, and we got the Ruckus crew back in the house, the Ill Boys. So stay tuned. Appreciate the support. Say it loud.
Hey, don't forget, check me out on YouTube. Go City, say it loud. Just type it in, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. We in the game.
There he is. Oh, I got to show y'all something. Come on, let's go before.